Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk about contour lines and blind contour drawings and talk about how you can start your blind contour drawing as homework for art class. So let's start with the idea of contour lines. Contours are the outline, especially one representing or bounding the shape of a form of something. So for example, here we have this apple sitting on a counter, and in this picture we have a rose, and in this picture we have a pair of sandals. As an artist, you'd have to look very closely at the edge of the sandal to accurately draw the shape and size of it. Also, you might have to accurately look at how a piece of the object is turning or curving or overlapped and create that boundary or edge of the object accurately so that your viewer can understand what the object is supposed to be. So it's important to accurately draw that basic shell of the object before adding more detail of value, texture, or shadows. Now, hand-eye coordination is imperative in drawing. You must draw very accurately and make sure that your eyes and your hands are working together, such as in baseball or any other sport. If this athlete here is going to hope to catch this ball, he has to look very accurately at it, gauge where it's going, how fast it's going, and move his hand to the right place just to catch it in time. So, as a player might keep his eye on the ball or her eye on the ball at all times, to draw a picture, you want to keep your eye on your subject most of the time. I'd say almost 90% of the time. And just check back with your paper ever so slightly every once in a while. One skill that we're going to do to practice this, keeping your eye on the artwork and your pencil on the paper, is called blind contour drawing. Now, to understand blind contour drawing, you need to think about your eye and pretend that your eye is your pencil. Okay, so here's some examples of blind contour drawings. Here's a photograph of a hand, however it's quite grainy. You can see that it is also here represented by this line drawing. Now, a blind contour drawing is where you are attempting to take your pencil and trace, if you will, around every little detail and the outside shell of your object, in this sense a hand. Okay, you are going to look only at your subject. Therefore, let's pretend this is your right hand. You're going to hold your right hand far away from you and hopefully in the opposite direction of your paper so you can only look at your hand. Then, without looking at your paper, you're only going to make one line. In this diagram here, you can see the starting line, and you can follow it with your eye all the way through to the finish of it. You're going to make sure that that line starts in one place, ends in the other place, and you're only going to make one line. The purpose of this is to build hand-eye coordination. So let's take a look at a video of me doing this process. This is your blind contour drawing homework. You'll have two sections here, and you can read the directions here. It says only look at your subject, not your paper. Pretend that your pencil tip is connected to your eye. Whatever you do, move your pencil wherever your eye follows. Draw only one line. Here's the start, here's the finish, and set a timer. Make sure it only lasts for 5 minutes. Start by putting your name on the paper. Draw or write your section and your homeroom teacher. Now, one key element of this is to tape your paper down. So as you're drawing with either your right or left hand and you're holding your other hand out, the paper doesn't slide away from you. Okay? Now, I am obviously screencasting this, so I'm not drawing at the moment, but as I was drawing this, my hand, left hand that is, was behind me, and I'm looking only at my hand. Now, as I draw here, I'm really searching every single line. You want to look for the little creases in your finger. You want to look for the little wiggles in your fingers. And notice how my drawing here is not accurate as the lines on my paper are lining up, but it's very accurate in that I'm looking closely at how my finger is shaped. I will be able to tell and look at your picture based on if your drawing lines up and how the lines are really either searching or not searching in your picture. Now here, as I start to backtrack along my drawing, that's one real key part. I'm not lifting my pencil up, so I need to backtrack. And when I'm backtracking, I'm take a different route because I'm not looking at my paper. If If all of your lines line up perfectly, well then obviously something is going wrong. You're looking back at your paper. Okay, so as you do this, make sure that you start, and I want you to circle your start line, and I want you to circle your end line. All right, and the idea of this is to find those searching lines. You're really carefully looking. Wherever your eye is moving, you are, your pencil is following that same line. Okay, in this rectangle, I'd like you to draw your hand, and in this one, I would like you to draw some other kind of object. So, thank you for joining me for this lesson about blind contour drawing.